Change is something that happens to us. It might be something normal, like aging, something exhilarating like going away to college, or something life-altering like having a baby or living through a natural disaster. Change, in other words, happens on the outside. Transition is the psychological process that individuals and organizations go through as they adapt to changes. Transition is on the inside. William Bridges wrote Managing Transitions to help leaders lead through change and help those they lead adapt to the new normal. Bridges outlines 3 parts in change: endings, knowing what you're letting go of and letting go of it; the neutral zone, redefining what you are without what you lost; and new beginnings. Endings are the beginning of the transition process. This is where change has happened to you. Before you can move forward, you need to know what you're letting go of and let go of it. This can be a positive thing and/or a negative. For instance, as your kids go off to school, you might have lost your excuse for your propensity to not vacuum the house, and you might also have lost precious time with your kids that help strengthen your relationship. The middle part is the neutral zone. This is the really hard part. You might have felt like you got through the worst of it when you identified your loss and let go of it, but this pushes you into the in-between, which feels like you are on a ship, in a fog, without any instruments, in a storm. Your whole goal for this part is to keep your balance. Imagine you are on a ship. As it rolls and pitches, you will gradually and increasingly learn to keep your balance on rough seas. Your whole goal is to just stay attached. During this emotionally and sometimes physically chaotic time, you are redefining who you are, without what you lost. Back to our analogy. As your kids continue to have a regular schedule of being out of the house, you soon find that you don't miss them as much, that seeing them off at the school bus, or drop-off, is a marker in your day, and your life is now dominated by the school bell. Their release time brings new flurries of activity. You probably find new ways to maintain those vital relationships, and probably you are redefining what a good relationship with your child looks like. The third part of transition is new direction. Our tendency is to reach for new direction before we go through the storm. This is a mistake because it can cause stunted growth down the road. Instead, walk through the hard time and trust that new direction is coming. When new direction materializes, it will be for the person we are becoming, not the person we were. And for the analogy, as you keep your balance through the new normal, you begin to find that you have about 3 hours a day that you could do something new with. Just as you realize this, an opportunity to do something you love shows up, and you know that this time, you can say yes. So, recapping, leading people through transitions means that we help them identify what they are losing, and help them let go of it. This is often through a ceremonial process. Maybe they need to write down what they are losing. They might also need a memorial of some sort. Then, we help them look at who they are. Keeping their balance through the storm means that we will listen a lot. They need a good listener. It is also a time to help them discover who they are. You might want them to do personality tests like StrengthsFinder 2.0, DISC, etc. Then, after the emotional storm has died down a bit, you can lead them in a conversation of what could be. This might mean revisiting a problem now that they have new information. It might mean looking for resources outside their team. To keep a team together during transition, you will really need to steer into parts 1 and 2. You'll be able to see when it is time for part 3, new direction, and your team will know it too.